Today on episode 89, our Mike Ditka episode of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Stinkers and Floaters, the Tcf Sports Minute, our media recommendations, a return of ideas under the influence, Black Friday ventures, and what we're thankful for. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 89 of Typical Chicago Fans. It's me, your boy Boomy, on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Make sure you follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Check out Facebook, Instagram, head over to those. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Give those pages a like. Head over to YouTube. Subscribe to our page for all of our content in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Find us on there. But make sure to follow the guys that I'm joined with tonight. We got Zach at Z Lilia TCF and Maddie, of course, at schools_01. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at 26shirts.com Chicago. Head on over to their website, 26shirts.com/Chicago, to check out some of the coolest Chicago sports merchandise around. They've got everything from the shirts you see behind me, hats, hoodies, flags, whatever you need, they have it. They help out with great causes around the city of Chicago. So like I said, head over to their website, find the product that you love, and at checkout, use promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. If you love our show, love great Chicago merch, love companies that help out good causes, like I said, head over to 26shirts.com/Chicago, pick up some great items, use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. Boys, happy Thanksgiving, first and foremost. Hope we're all doing well.
Got no complaints.
I'm still stuck in the food coma.
I 100% with you there.
Went a little crazy on the pumpkin pie. I think I ate a whole pumpkin pie.
Yeah, boy.
I love pumpkin pie. That was amazing. But mine was a little different. I was kind of by myself waiting for some COVID tests, but we're good now. So at least we're that's the positive. But I got a lot of food dropped off to my house, and oh my goodness, it was amazing. I ate way too much, and today I feel like I honestly feel like a day after you work out. Like you're tired the day after, but like the next day you ate way too much, and you almost need like the next day off.
Zach, did it change the fact that you were alone and eating? Because like if you're around your family, so like maybe your niece your niece or nephew might bother you so you don't sit there and eat all day. But if you're by yourself, did you eat more than you normally would?
You're eating pumpkin pie right out of the thing. Like you're not having to worry about anything like that, and you're just eating out of containers. So yeah, much different. You would definitely not eat like that around family or friends, even at that. Just like you're right, Boom. You're by yourself, and I'm going to eat as much as I can at one time.
I did something I don't think I've ever done. I truly only ate one plate of food yesterday, but don't get me wrong, it was stacked nice and high. But I also put it. There was no clear space on that plate, and I don't know what. I must have just ate at the right time because I couldn't get anything down. We even went to a second, Thanksgiving dinner, and I just didn't have any room. Of course, there was a room for pie. Let's not get crazy here, but it was one of those weird ones. I'm 30 now, and I felt like I could improve my Thanksgiving eating game, and I just didn't. I dropped the ball, and it's something I need to work on for next year. Matt, I know you were working on the huge spread, man. How did everything go at the Schoolfield house?
Well, some good, some bad. I put up a couple pictures on social media of a pie that I attempted to make. I'll get to that in a minute. The pressure cooker that I was going to use to cook our potatoes, that our potatoes were soaking in for a while, didn't work.
Oh no.
So I had no extra potatoes beside those that had been soaking in this pot all day. So we had no mashed potatoes at this point because the pressure cooker decided to take a shit. Fortunately, the day before Black Friday, so I'll probably get suckered into buying another one tonight before midnight. But
that doesn't help you in the moment.
No mashed potatoes. On the flip side, I brined a turkey breast for about 16 hours. Ooh. For the first time in my life. And I made my own brine, let it soak in there. Grilled it. I grilled the breast for about We'll say hour and 15 minutes is all it took. That turned out very well, very, very well. So I was happy with that.
Some positives.
Yeah. A mismeasurement on the baked mac and cheese on the salt, so that killed the mac and cheese. I bombed that one. Flip side, smoked the stuffing, did awesome there. Did awesome on the corn casserole, nailed that one. The crown jewel of the day, boys, the upside down apple walnut pie. Grandma's recipe, she didn't have a recipe, she just had it in her brain, but my mom found one that was closest that she could find to it, and I attempted to try to make my own with it. I'm going to give myself about a 7-1 on the pie.
It looked amazing.
The optics were there. The visuals were there. My grandma, I know, used a specific butter.
I was going to ask how it measured up.
It was either a butter or a specific margarine. One of the two. I think it was
maybe she made her own.
Right.
Did your grandma own a butter churn?
No, but that woman could cook with the best of them, dude. It was insane. But yeah, the apple walnut pie turned out really well. I've eaten a very, very large share of that already. Still a little bit left. I did have backup pies just in case I bombed that thing too.
Good.
So we've got a lot of extra sweets around here too. Tons of stuffing left over, tons of corn casserole, tons of sweet potatoes. All that stuff turned out really good. Turkey turned out good. You can make potatoes any day of the week though. Those are easy enough. So yeah, like I said, some bomb, some good, and it all worked out well.
Well, good, man. I'm glad to hear that. I know you had a huge spread planned. So
it's hard to do that all on your own too.
Yeah.
So shout out all those moms and grandmas and wives and sisters and husbands and anybody else who's ever taken the liberty of making an entire Thanksgiving spread. That shit is not easy. It's an all day thing from start to finish. So
it's like an all week thing, man.
Yeah, a lot of ways.
Goes in.
When you start getting the brines and things like that, it's a project for sure. All the prep work that goes involved, and for everybody to come and slaughter through it in about 90 minutes and then it's gone.
Yeah. You're just left with scraps.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. I'm glad to hear that. Christmas right around the corner now. I'm thinking about the next big food holiday.
Yeah, I'll probably just stick to grilling some steaks or something then.
Nothing wrong with that. Let's jump right into it. Sinkers and floaters. I'll get us started with my sinker, and Zach kind of touched to it, but and I hate to keep using this, but it's COVID in sports. I had it written in my notes with the Illinois-Ohio State game that is now canceled. When I wrote it in my notes, it's just that the Ohio State coach was positive. We've seen, I think the first day of college basketball, we had 20 games canceled or postponed. Obviously, everything's getting moved around. Nick Saban now has caught COVID twice. And then who was the other one? Lamar Jackson and 9 other players from the Ravens. So we did not get the incredible matchup on Thanksgiving evening.
Which is a big thing because they got to play now maybe Tuesday at the best, Tuesday.
Yep.
And then they're supposed to play, I think, were they supposed to play a Thursday night game this week?
I think so.
Because they were supposed to play, like I said, they were supposed to play on Thanksgiving, but they got that switched. So it's just, I mean, there's gonna have to be maybe a week 18 now. It's gonna be a weird.
So here's Zach. That's a good point. And here's a conspiracy theory. Me and my brother were reading yesterday that if there's a week 18 now, the NFL has already said they're going to expand the playoffs to 8 teams because of COVID and stuff. And as of right now, the 8th seed in the AFC is the Baltimore Ravens.
Huh.
Let the conspiracies begin. It's one of those situations. It stinks. It's the world we live in right now.
Yeah, not much you can do about it, but it's going to affect things for a while.
Oh yeah, there's no end in sight right now.
Like I said, it screws up the Steelers' schedule and everything. So, well, hopefully they can play Tuesday. Like I said, that's the earliest they're going to be able to play.
Yep.
My sinker. Oh, sorry, but Matt.
No, I was just gonna say all of it sucks. I didn't even know if you mentioned Ryan Day too. We were talking before the show.
Yeah.
Ohio
State, Illinois. Like I said, Ohio State, one more game away from their season not being, or them not being able to make the playoff because of having 3 canceled games. So
Right.
that's just another thing. I have to go with that. My sinker, totally opposite. Nowhere near that. It's cakes that look like things. And these people who are making cakes need to chill out. These cakes that are looking like animals, or cakes that look like saws or trees or stupid stuff like that you would never think, and then they just turn into a cake. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it looks weird. I'm a big fan of cakes, but I do not like just a random, like, I don't know. What are you saying?
The worst one, Zach, do not look this up if you don't like these kind of cakes. Someone had a baby shower. They just had their baby, and they made a cake that looked exactly like a human baby, just like this baby at the shower. And then obviously you have to cut it open. It is psychotic. Stop doing that.
Yeah, it's
I've seen people with like roadkill. They've had roadkill that's like a cake, and it's like, what? Let's just stick to the basic cake. A rectangle.
Yeah, what happened to a good old-fashioned bundt cake?
I'm with you guys.
Normal cakes are just like a rectangle usually.
I'm 100% with you guys on this one. I there's no place for this kind of stuff.
Just chill out.
Yeah, we just don't need it. You just don't need to see something.
That's insane that somebody thought that was a good idea for a baby shower.
Yeah, that video is.
You know what? It was cool to see it.
I'm guessing social media took care of that.
With a baseball. You know, if they did it with a basketball, something like that, it's like, okay, cool. You know, it looks like a basketball. It's actually a cake. You start just upping the thing. It's up to that level.
Yeah, like I said, people have gone crazy with that kind of stuff.
No, I'm with you. My sinker, and for obvious reasons, and I'm not saying suggesting it should be done otherwise, but with college basketball kicking off, college basketball without fans is really hard to watch, and the energy in the gym.
It's weird. I mean,
so awkward
because it's not like the NBA where like the NBA, yes, they have fans, but like in college basketball, like Arizona State, they got the people that are always behind the basket and everything like that. It's much different than the NBA.
Yeah, and I think some of it is the production too, because you're watching a lot of these games on second and third rate channels.
Like a lot of these places don't even have like benches or anything behind it. Like they're not even trying to have any fans. They know they're not gonna have fans, so they're like, screw that.
Right, and the sound and some of it, like how close the walls are, it makes you feel like you're in a Y, like on a Saturday afternoon in a Y, because you got like 15 feet between the walls and the floor. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Absolutely,
it's crazy.
It's super weird.
I I like watching.
I like watching it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, absolutely, definitely still gonna watch it.
But absolutely. It's still.
It's just crazy different.
Still getting used to it.
Right.
Yeah, it's better than no basketball, but still like
100%. 100%.
My floater is women, because Vanderbilt's star female soccer player will actually be kicking for the football team this weekend. So shout out to her. I was dumb. I did not write her name down, but I saw all over social media today that I think she might be like the best player on Vanderbilt's women's soccer team. They're down kickers, so she's going to kick for the football team this weekend. So shout out to her. I hope she does well.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't know where you're going to go with that. If you're trying to get brownie points from the wife or something, I didn't know where you were going there with that floater.
Hey, I got to keep
my
people
floater this week is women.
That is awesome.
It's better than being like my sinker's women. Like that's
true.
That's a bad start.
True.
Yeah, that will not get you brownie points, even though
none at all. Negative brownie points.
I don't think your wife listens to this, so I don't think.
I think you're right. No, she actually listens. She actually like mutes the TV above us.
Oh, well, yeah, she gets the live version of it.
Because I usually hear about something. There's usually one part of the show I hear about as soon as I go upstairs. So I know she is listening.
My floater is Luol Deng. The Lakers were denied. He had a career-ending injury, so they were trying to get him off the salary for the things this year and next year. He'll be making $5 million a year for the next 2 years. Not even playing basketball. This happens a lot with players. Like I said, I think Boomy said something about like Allen Iverson's going to be getting some money.
His is from Reebok, though. It's a shoe deal.
Yeah, I mean, you see all with Bobby Bonita, it always comes up, and I think we did a whole thing on this show of like crazy contracts that are extended over time. But I think I've always been a big fan of Luol Deng too. So I think awesome he's getting his money, especially from the Lakers of all teams. They were denied that, so that was awesome to see. I love that.
Well, they weren't trying to like not have to pay him. They weren't, but it counts against their salary cap. I think is what the.
I don't care.
Whatever. They can deal with it. They'll figure it out. We kind of buried the lead with my floater, and it's baking pies. Pies are in. I'm in on baking pies. I'm going to start baking more pies. I
keep making some pies. Me and Boomy will have.
Do all sorts of like pot pies. You could do like taco, like you could load up like taco meat and stuff like that inside a pie.
Sweet and
do all kinds of crazy stuff. Then we'll start doing the dessert ones again too. I don't know. I think I'm gonna start getting into pies. It's just like I don't know. All those
pies don't get enough
pies.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I might be onto something here.
Pies definitely don't get the respect I feel like they deserve. Like cake is good, but pies.
Yeah. But even a box cake is good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like you can bake a cake with a box. You can't bake a pie with a box.
Well, and you also said it really well too, Matt. You can do the savory pie as well. You can make, I had one my mom used to make. It was like almost like a breakfast, like meal pie-ish kind of thing. I don't know the best word is, but
you do like scrambled eggs and sausage, cheese.
Yes.
Maybe gravy in the bottom of that thing.
Yes.
Shredded trees. Oh, baby, we're on to something here.
We might be looking at a little entrepreneur business here on the Friday night.
Hey, I'm saying you and the wife start making some pies, and you guys start the Schoolfield Bakery.
I love it.
Hey, that's something she always wanted to do. She's always into baking cakes and brownies and cookies and shit like that. So now if we can add a pie to the arsenal, look out.
Look out.
I love it.
Well, boys, let's move into the TCF Sports Minute. Obviously, we got to get it going here. This weekend, we got Bears, we got Packers. Mitch Trubisky is making his comeback as Nick Foles is not going to be starting for the Bears. What are your guys' honest thoughts? We're getting closer and closer to the game. Obviously, we've talked about it, on the Daily Show, so make sure you check out those on YouTube. But how do you feel about Mitchie coming into this weekend?
I'm excited. Like I said, I think Nick Foles has proven that he cannot throw the ball any better than Mitch Trubisky can. That part of the game is not improving like we all thought after he came into that game, and we were all pumped that, now the wide receivers have somebody who can throw it to them in the right spots. No, it hasn't happened since that day. And then we can finally get somebody out there that is a threat to run the ball. We just hope that his shoulder can hold up. I think it's the third time he's had a shoulder injury in his whole career. So that's not good. But I'm excited. You thought when Nick Foles got the job that there was no way that you were going to go back to Mitch Trubisky. You thought it was over. Turn the jersey in. If he's going to play somewhere, he's going to play somewhere else. But then, like I said, Nick Foles has done what he's did over the last few games. We're all back in because this is a game where with the Packers losing, and say what you want about me, it means that the Bears have this game means something. This game means something. If they win it, they have the upper hand in the series until the last game of the year. Then they'll at least be a game behind the Packers. It'll mean something. If they lose, it's over with. It's over. It's done. The season's over with. Pack it up.
At that point, you just got to start praying that they do expand to the 8, and then you can sneak in as a wild card.
Even at that, I mean, it's tough. They'll drop.
And Matt said it before. Do
6.
you want to be in the playoff as an 8 seed? That's 7 and 9. Like, is that even worth your time?
Yes.
I think this year it is. I think that there's a lot can go on. And you get a team that has a good defense like the Bears, I think will be good in the playoffs. And we just need Mitch Trubisky to do something. Sorry, Matt, for being so long-winded there.
No, you're good, dude.
I've been thinking about this for the last few days. I'm very excited. I'm all back in because this game is do or die right now.
I don't disagree with much of anything you said. I'm pretty excited about it too. I think I said it the other day. My take on it was I don't know if Mitch is the better option or Foles is the better option. But with this dog shit offensive line who can't block anybody, you need somebody who can make a play on the feet. There's only one of those two guys that can do that, and that's Trubisky. He can make a play outside of the pocket. He can extend a first down here and there with a run. He becomes a red zone threat too on the ground as well. We've seen that more and more around the league as quarterbacks on the ground inside the 10 are becoming as just as much of a weapon on the ground as they are throwing the ball. And Trubisky brings that element to it. He also brings the where's that ball going? And so it's going to be, you're going to take the good with the bad. And I think the Bears are going to come out and play an inspired game. I think this is one of those games where you see them give a really high effort. The defense is going to come out, make a big play, probably get a turnover in the first quarter, something like that. I do think it'll be a close game. I don't know that they can beat Rodgers right now when it's all said and done. But hey, who knows? It's the NFL. Anything can happen any week. So
it sounds stupid,
Mitch
but
has a chance.
The Bears got to
Mitch
put points up.
They do.
Bears offense has got to put points up. The defense, we're not going to be able to hold the Packers or Aaron Rodgers to 0 points. They can hold them to a touchdown.
You hold them to 17, 20 or under.
Yeah, under 20. This offense has got to get you more than that.
Your goal is Aaron Rodgers 20 points. That's what you want to hold him to. I mean, I think that's a reasonable number for a good defense to target.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely going to be interesting for sure. Like you said, the playoff indications and kind of where the Bears are sitting. It is, like you said, Zach, almost do or die at this point. So
me and Boomy will be doing a Facebook Live before and at halftime of the games before the Packers-Bears game. So we'll kind of see how that goes with the halftime, if it's going to be a Bears – like I said, it could get ugly too with how the Bears. It's not like we're changing quarterbacks to a guy that we're super confident in. Like it's just kind of false hope right now.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves. We're teetering on the brink of a Mark Trestman collapse. It's right at we're right at the precipice of that Trestman level where it just fell off the cliff and everything just imploded. So if they get blown out, this whole thing is in trouble.
Yeah. Moving on to some other sports talk. Obviously, college football has been going on. We had some Thanksgiving Day, some on Friday, a bunch on Saturday. Some ranked teams. Matt, Matt, do you cheer for North Carolina football?
Not like I do basketball. I don't really. I've never really had a team in college football that I just kind of clung to. My dad was a big UNC basketball fan back because of Dean Smith, and that's where I got my fandom from. So.
Gotcha. Well, they gave Notre Dame a little bit of a run today. Notre Dame, still escaping, and everybody said, and trust me, I don't like them either, but everybody said join the conference. They joined the conference, and they're still playing pretty well. You got to tip your hat just a little bit to that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I trust me. I don't like it either. But I think there's like this weekend, as far as college football, is a lot of like put up games. Like Indiana hosts Maryland. Like if Indiana wants to be, a top 10 team the rest of the year, they gave Ohio State everything they had last weekend. And, you got to move on and be able to bounce back. They got, like I said, Maryland, who's obviously not playing very well. But are there any other games? Like Clemson's back. I think Trevor Lawrence will be back. The big one, obviously, the Iron Bowl. Bama and Auburn, no Nick Saban. That's a big game, and Alabama is favored by 24.5 points. I don't know.
I love Alabama in that with the spread, too, by the way. Alabama.
That's a lot of points.
Auburn stinks. They stink. Bo Nix stinks. That Alabama offense is going to march the ball up and down the field at will. I love the over in that one, too.
Well, I hope not. I teased it to Auburn plus 32. I got a Black Friday special. So.
That would be the way to do it, in my opinion, if you're going to take Auburn. I love Bama tomorrow.
Yeah, and especially, no Nick Saban kind of having that one, play for your coach when he's not there, when he's down and out. So I definitely think Alabama's going to roll. Just hope that Auburn can keep it under, 5 touchdowns.
Alabama likes to stick it to Auburn, too. They don't let off the gas pedal. On the years that they can stomp on their throat, they do.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, especially with no Saban there.
Yeah.
And kind of going back to what I was saying about kind of the put up or shut up, teams, we see teams like we've talked about all year, like the UL Lafayette, who's now ranked in the top 25. Coastal Carolina's ranked 16th. They're undefeated. Different teams like that it's one of those, if you want to be considered in this conversation and get yourself into a big name bowl, like now is the week you got to, people are coming for your back. So I think there's going to be there's a ton of postponements, but I think there's going to be, some decent football to keep an eye on this weekend as far as college goes.
Yeah, definitely. It's all these cancellations just it sucks
I feel
the
like
life
this
out
weekend
of you.
there's more cancellations than there are games played, but then I forgot a lot of games are Thursday and Friday this week. So
Yeah, it's you knew this was coming at some point, and that's the unfortunate reality of the way everything's unfolded in this country with the virus.
It's just kind of showing you that Big Ten was not prepared.
Yes.
Yeah, haven't built in bye weeks like the SEC. They can rearrange the Bama LSU game like they just did, and they can jockey and move some of these games around because they had a plan and tried to execute it. If you fly by the seat of your pants just because you're trying to chase the buck at the end of the day is what the Big Ten did. They made their decision of not playing. At that point, you got to stick with it. Either stick with it or you don't. And they didn't, and now they're paying the price of that because they chased the dollar. So, if they realize that, we set out, they're going to lose X amount of, capital to all these universities. The players are going to lose the chance to probably, spotlight themselves for the draft. There's a lot of money at stake. And when you start chasing that instead of having a thought out plan, that's what happens.
Absolutely. Moving on to the college hardwood, it's been a hell of a couple first days of games. How are you guys feeling about these? I didn't even realize that a lot of places are doing these, small weekend bubbles. I didn't know that Illinois was running one with them playing the last 3 days. They had Ohio, and North Carolina A&T and Chicago State all in Champaign playing those. How you guys feeling about these weekend bubbles?
It's awesome. And what was it? Which team was it? Decided 2 a.m. to stick around and play one more game.
Yeah,
it's just awesome the way that they're doing that. I think it's smart. Like I said, might as well get as many games as you can in one spot with as many teams as you can. When it's just easier to do. And like I said, I'm going to use an example from today with Illinois. Close game, and you say what you want. There's going to be a lot of games like this where
especially having to play 3 days in a row.
3 days in a row, and Ohio.
San Francisco,
Yeah.
upsetting Virginia.
Yeah, it's not. Don't be surprised by that because you see, the first day you saw a lot of teams blowing them out, but when you're playing 3 days in a row, it's going to start to show.
Georgia Tech got beat by Mercer. There's some of those schools that you don't have to worry about crowds. Or you don't have to worry about going in and playing in some of these, raucous environments. Some of the fear factor's gone, I think, too. And,
that's not even the best story, Matt. Did you see this one that
Mike Bray? Are you talking Mike Bray? I saw that tweet right before the show.
No, so Notre Dame's looking for a game because Tennessee canceled it. But the best story I've seen of the week, and I'll jump into some of the quick upsets like you talked about, but a Division I school, I can't remember who it was, but they dropped out of a tournament that they were, or one of the bubble situations that they were supposed to be in this weekend. And a Division II university out of Charlotte called Queens University picked it up, no time to prepare. I think they jumped into it. They decided on Monday they were going to play in it. And they have I think they lost to George Mason by 1 point on Thanksgiving. Today they beat Howard by 14, and then tomorrow they turn around and play a really good Belmont team. So it's cool to see stories like that where these guys a week ago had no idea they were going to play 3 Division I teams back to back to back, and they come out and they have some success. I love seeing stories like that.
like I said, a lot of these games you turn on, they're close the whole
Mhm.
time. Even it doesn't really like say you're a non-ranked team's playing a ranked team. It's tough to get a feel for it the third day into it.
Yes.
Especially if you said if you're playing in the same area, that team's watching you play for 2 straight days. Like
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's
Definitely.
very AAU feeling, like
it is awesome though. Like I said, it's awesome that it's back, and it's kind of cool the way that they're forming we need to be safe, but might as well do it at one place for a weekend, like a 4-day thing.
Frankly, I like it a lot. I like it a lot better than planning their schedules out like 6, 7, 8 years in advance with some of these contract games like they do. It brings a lot more fun to it, Like who the hell am I going to play today? Who am I going to play next week? I don't know. I kind of like it.
The Chicago State coach had said something about just trying to talk to his boys about always being ready because come Monday, you may find out you have to catch a flight to Texas on Wednesday to play on Thursday. It adds a really cool element into the college basketball season that we kind of overlooked.
And frankly, what it's going to do for a lot of these guys going forward, you're gonna face adversity in your life a lot of ways. This is one of them. Adjust on the fly is as important as anything.
One other last note on college basketball. I don't know how much you guys have watched, but damn, is Gonzaga good. Wow. They have
they are.
Kind of they beat Auburn. Who else? They beat Kansas pretty convincingly. They are as good as advertised to start the year. Some of the big upsets, like Matt said, Virginia falls to San Francisco today. UCLA, I believe, is now lost. Or no, they did come back to win today, I think, in overtime against Pepperdine. But there has been a really good amount of upsets so far in this very, very young season. And I'm sure a lot of it, like you said, Zach, has to go in, with playing 3 days in a row. But it is super interesting to see, how some of those teams are faring.
Yep. Like I said, it is awesome to get that back too, because I missed a little basketball.
And last thing I have on the Tcf Sports Minute, did you guys watch the golf match with Phil?
Yeah,
and
Charles? it was good, but like the professional one.
Okay. I didn't watch a second of it.
At one point I thought I saw that.
I didn't watch any of it. How'd Barkley look?
He actually a lot better than I thought.
Is his swing still jacked up?
Kind of, but it works. He has some good swings. I didn't watch the whole thing.
It was Stephen Curry and Peyton on the other squad, right?
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson and Charles Barkley.
I think Charles Barkley and Phil won it, didn't they?
Oh yeah, you would.
What was the spread beforehand?
I don't know. I never saw anything like that. I didn't even really know it was happening until today.
That's like a couple of years ago. That was a couple of years ago when they started this thing with Tiger and Phil, right?
Yeah, it was just
they did that.
And then they had Phil and Peyton Manning and Tiger and
Tom Brady. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, man. It didn't really grab my attention, so I never turned it on. But it is interesting that they're continuing to do stuff with this, and like we keep talking about in these weird times, you got to do what you got to do. Let's move into our media recommendations. As we've said, this could be a podcast, an album, a TV show, a movie, whatever form of media. Obviously, the times are as crazy as they are. We're spending a lot more time at home trying to find ways to get by. So do you guys have any media recommendations for those stuck at home or doing a lot less traveling during this holiday season?
I'll go with one that you can kind of go back and listen to a bunch of them. There are 24 episodes, and it's called Open Concessions with Len and JD. They do Len and JD. Their most recent one was Jason Hayward. They had Albert Alzolay, which would be a cool one.
That dude seems like a pretty interesting guy.
Yeah, Matt Caesar. They have David Bodie and Alec Mills from back in September. They have Derek Lee. It's just like you said, they have a bunch of older players, younger players, recent players. They have Tom Ricketts as an interview on there. So I think that's a good one for Cub fans.
Is that on Marquee Network, Zach?
No, it's just a podcast.
Oh, it's a podcast. Okay.
Podcast. Sorry if I didn't say that, but yeah, it's a podcast.
Right on.
So it's an easy listen to. I think they're about an hour each, and there's about 24 of them. So you can kind of go back and listen to. It's not like time sensitive.
Yeah,
podcast.
That's what I was going to ask. Very cool. Matt, I know you got something.
I do, and I think Boomy. I want to say I heard you mention this maybe a few episodes back, or maybe it was just in random conversation about something else. But it's a series called "The Men Who Built America."
Yeah,
it's on Amazon Prime now. I think it was a History Channel special that they did. That show is fascinating. I've got through about the first episode and a half of it so far. Starts with Cornelius Vanderbilt, and how his logistics operation that he started, basically taking over shipping and pipeline laying for the founding of the country. And then from there, Rockefeller's who it went to next. So it's how cutthroat some of these guys were, some of the things that they had to do to get to start some of the corporations that we know today that are the backbone of where our country came from. So fascinating stuff so far.
It's an easy way to digest history.
Yeah, it's very entertaining, very surface scratching. It doesn't go into like a lot of the nuts and bolts behind a lot of things, but if you want something entertaining and while you're still going to learn something, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and I think that was along the same lines with the same producers that made America: The Story of Us. And my favorite part of both of those series is when they do like the rapid builds. Those computer simulations.
Yes, they did
like,
that series, and I'm pretty sure it's the same people who did the World Wars too. Yes. They did that the 3 episodes from World War I and then 3 episodes from World War II, and how the players between both wars, their roles amongst 1 and 2 both. So I think it was all the same people that have done those. So it's really interesting stuff the way they do it.
Very good stuff. I've got a couple. I got 2 musical things I want to touch on here, and this is something that came up in our group chat the other day. It is officially Christmas time. The NSYNC Christmas album is on Spotify. Whatever you're doing, make sure you have the NSYNC Christmas album on. That's my all-time favorite Christmas album.
That's your all-time favorite band.
Yeah, it is. They were the GOATs. But also, as I was searching for some throwback tunes the other day, I came across this playlist on Spotify, and it is called Now That's What I Call Music Playlist 1 through 50, and they literally have every single song from every single Now album.
Oh my God!
In the 90s and 2000s. So it's literally the first through 50. It is in the entire CDs, all the way down, and they go in order too. So it's like 1, and then the second start. It's awesome. If you need some throwback 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s hits, now that's what I call music.
Remember the commercials for those things?
Where they would scroll the songs down from the top to bottom.
Yo, hey, little confession here. I think I own Now 1 through like 25.
I am not shocked one bit.
And the funny part is now they're all on one playlist.
Yeah, now they're all on one playlist that I pay like $8 a month for the Spotify. So I spent.
Did you guys ever get suckered into those mail-in CD programs?
No, my mom wouldn't let me. I tried.
Yeah, those are a trap, big time.
Big time.
Yeah. There's people that are still paying that off.
Hand up. I think I still owe somebody money back from like
you owe Columbia Records like $5,000.
I think it was BMG was the one I was on. Got a bunch of good music though for nothing for a little while anyway. Before they start sending the collectors after an 8th grader.
They just show up to your bus stop. They're like, listen, buddy.
Pretty much.
We're not playing around anymore.
Yeah.
Let's get into ideas under the influence. It's been a while. I think this might be Maddie's first IUI, but this is something we have done in the past. But these are our ideas under the influence. Zach, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, boys. I know it's like it gets cold around here, whatever. Maybe this won't make sense for all year round. We know they have like ice cream trucks. Why don't they have like cheeseburger trucks? Or like, I don't know. Why don't they like hot dog trucks and stuff like just drive around smaller towns and just boom. I'd walk outside, boom, give me a bacon cheeseburger with fries. Boom.
Where they're not like stationary like the parked ones and stuff.
Oh,
where they're
yeah,
actually
so,
like
I live in
driving
town now,
around,
so
driving around the neighborhood playing a song.
Like, you know,
like,
and you hear the
it's the burger guy, dude.
Burger guy, it's 5:00.
Yeah, because that's true. Because like that kind of takes you by surprise. That's the best part of the ice cream, man. It's not the ingredients in the freezer. It's the surprise element. Like, oh shit, here comes a Choco Taco. You know, something like that.
Exactly.
I didn't expect it.
It's almost like
an ice cream sandwich to land in my lap.
You hear the semi horn, you're like, oh my gosh, cheeseburgers.
Yeah, or a taco guy. You know, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
we've got like food trucks. Like, let's let them roam around a little.
Yeah, let them actually do their job and drive their trucks.
You don't know who is sitting around their house smoking legal cannabis, and then, like, you're sitting there like, cheeseburger. I didn't think I wanted a cheeseburger, but no.
Zach, you don't even have to be under the influence to if a cheeseburger truck pulled up at your house to they're watching games, I could be stone cold sober, and I'm like, we're going to get cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
That is genius. I love it.
It's like subliminal advertising.
Oh, they just run around with dog whistles and just let everybody know.
Right.
In your brain.
All right. Well, Booby, I'm going to cut you off, and I'm going to go with mine. I'm going to go with mine, and I think you guys will like this one because I think you guys would find some benefit in this too. Because I think each of you guys stream TV services, right?
Yep.
Do you mind telling me which ones you stream?
I have
Hulu for now.
And Boomy, you have what?
Hulu as well.
Okay, I have YouTube. So we got different ones here. Now, we all have different sporting events, different games that we're either watching, gambling, rooting for, whatever it may be. Give me a service that I can say I want these teams or these leagues and get me whatever necessary login that it takes. So they do the work. You broker them out to obtain whatever necessary login that you need. So it could be a digital service, whatever it may be. And then all of a sudden you have access to whatever game through their portal. So it's easily organized. You don't have to go through the different programs. You don't have to go through, like, if this game is they're pulling you in from YouTube TV, then I don't have to go in through YouTube to get it. I go into whatever X company this is to their website, and it's got all my games that I've signed up for. So it routes everything you want into one little funnel.
Matt, what you're talking about is a illegal Reddit stream, I think.
Okay, sure.
All
right.
I'm old.
I don't know what I've heard the term Reddit stream. I don't know how to find one.
Matt, don't feel alone. I tried like 4 times. I wasn't able to make it work, and I'm pretty sure I killed one of my old phones because of it. So don't feel alone. But that is genius. I like that as well. And Matt, you might remember this. I know Matt will. I'm pretty sure Zach will. Do you guys remember Picture in Picture? Was a TV.
Oh yeah.
Like an additional.
Yeah, you could watch like your Dish Network and a DVD.
Yes. Yep. You guys remember? Yep. What happened to it? Where did it go? Why is it not a thing?
They're buried in the options. A lot.
No,
of
you know what? Boom. It's called TVs are cheaper now. That's what it's called.
Because I was thinking about this because I usually have 3 screens on. Like, I usually sit in front of the TVs. I play PlayStation on one. I watch a movie on the other, or a TV show, whatever the case is. And then I have usually like a sports game going on the projector. But if I had Picture in Picture, I could double that and have 6 screens. And that used to be a very standard option. And now you never even hear about it. What happened to that?
I think a lot of TVs, they're buried, dude. I think you can find them still. I think they're buried in options. They don't have to advertise them anymore.
Well, and like I'm saying, it's more of like a just go buy another TV if you want to watch something else.
Like Zach was saying before the show, like some of the deals that they have, like on Black Friday, it's like you can, walk out of bed and get a TV for like $50.
Yeah. I'm just saying it was a great option, and it just kind of, went the way of the dodo bird, I think. But I don't know what happened. I was just very concerned about it. That was our ideas. Yeah, listen, I'm a creative guy, all right? What are you going to do? Moving in, we are recording this on a Friday, Black Friday. So we figured you might as well touch into some of the best Black Friday shopping stories we have, or the dumbest things we've bought, or the coolest things we've bought. I will get us started, and Zach, I'm going to kind of steal our story here. I've never really went and stood in line for anything like late at night. I'll go the next day or whatever. But one night, I think it was Thanksgiving, maybe back with like my freshman year of college, and Zach and my brother and me and some other people went down to Peru. We had no intentions on buying anything. I don't think we bought a single thing, but I do remember one of our buddies just grabbed a handful of DVDs and was just walking around and putting them in random people's carts when they weren't paying attention. And we actually the lady that we did it to, she was like putting her stuff up on the thing, and she's like, "Where did this come from?" She's turning around, like yelling at her family, and like we're just sitting there laughing like idiots. And then I've also seen one like a fist fight over a TV at Target. That seems kind of, pretty elementary, pretty basic. And then the other one was that I have. We got a little overserved on Thanksgiving, and we went down. Me and another buddy went down to Peru. Came back with a 50-inch TV. I left with no intentions on buying. And last one, I think this was my sophomore year of college. Maybe me and my buddy were home. Again, being overserved, and he decided at like 11:30 he wanted a new Xbox 360, and we went down and bought it. And he woke up the next morning and he's like, "Why did you leave your 360 at my house?" And I'm like, "Dude, you bought it." He had no idea he bought a 360. So, some good times on Black Friday. You guys got any good stories?
Nothing really. This year I just bought stuff that I never thought I'd buy on Black Friday, like the most random like plugins and just stuff around the house for like super cheap on Amazon. What was the coolest
thing you bought, Zach?
I'm about to buy a big TV, like a 60-inch TV, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Some good merch you got from Bars. What was your favorite thing that you purchased from them?
I got that bull shirt that's a Go shirt.
Yep.
That's like my favorite.
That one is a good one too.
Yeah, I like that. I think the Frosted Flakes or whatever.
Have you, Zach, our time, like, just kind of roaming around Walmart, 10 plus years ago?
I got candles last night from Black Friday. I went to.
You got candles?
What is it? I always get the two mixed up. Bath and Body Works.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at you.
It was three. You buy 3, get 3 free.
Be an idiot not to.
It's basically stealing money as far as I'm concerned.
Didn't think I'd be doing
that. I'm a big Bath and Body Works advocate.
I'm excited though.
I love it. Matt, I know you got to have some good stories.
Well, my wife and I had a long tradition of, we used to collect Blu-ray movies and DVD movies and stuff, and like kind of make like a decorative collection, like storage out of our collection, so we'd have like display them like in a decorative fashion. So like we would get as many movies as we could, and that was usually the best time to do it because they'd be like cheap. You could get really good movies like Blu-rays and stuff for a long time for like $6-7 on Black Friday for a long time. So we used to do a lot of that. Big thing obviously when we were younger was to maybe have a few cocktails and then late in the evening and then go out together and do it. Just go enjoy a night out essentially with some of the crazies that attack some of the stores that we're so accustomed to seeing. I don't know. I don't think I've been doing a lot more online the last few years. Amazon has so much crazy shit. I think last year, I think all 3 of us bought those that microphone stand that I have on my desk. So when I got a Ring record over there. Yeah, see, like stuff like that. I stocked up. That's how I got transitioned into doing like the Fire Sticks for all my TVs. I got 1 or 2 of them that like for a Black Friday.
That's why I got 2 of them because I got my parents are giving me this TV and they're like, "Oh, it doesn't have smart TV, but you can have it." It's like I buy like a $15 Fire Stick and it turns into a smart TV.
Right, and then like I got Echo Dots now all throughout the house. So we got.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah, so we got like smart house basically, and anybody who's worried about like the government spying on me, you have a cell phone, they can follow you wherever they want to go. So
I got
come on,
I got these dude wipes on Amazon Black Friday, and now I all I get is ads on my phone. So what
was that? The Social Dilemma. Watch the Social Dilemma, and you'll see how that happens.
Don't. Or don't.
Teach me, yeah.
Freak you
I was
out.
gonna say, like, I'm with you. Everybody always says, like, oh, they're like, I have nothing interesting to listen to anyway, so they're just wasting time if they're listening.
By all means.
Probably just thinking,
By
like,
all
this
means.
guy needs more healthier habits than playing video games and betting on sports and arguing with his friends all the time. But
let's not kid ourselves. They can get most of our thoughts and opinions right here from the show, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. We're a pretty open book, but yeah, just Black Friday is great now that online is so big because, like I was with you, Matt. I never really did any big shop. Like it was definitely more of a thing to just go kind of people watch. I remember one year sitting on the back of my buddy's tailgate, just watching people fist fight over TVs at Target.
Yeah,
like
crazy.
It's the best.
The lines
I love it.
people would stand in. It's like, nah. I'm
yeah,
good.
and a lot of times it's like 21 degrees outside. It's like, oh, you stood in line for 8 hours and you got a 32-inch TV, but you probably lost your pinky because you have hypothermia now, you idiots.
No,
I want all the worst parts of society just commingling and fighting over 25% discounts on items. I love it. Bring it on. I want bring me every video. What's
I always
that?
feel so bad for the people that do work that.
Those
And,
guys,
like,
those girls should get bonuses like crazy for Black Friday hours.
My wife, before she works at her job now, used to work in retail, and I know like they would literally start, dreading how bad that was back in like September, and I can't imagine having to go. I would snap it. She's told me some of the horror stories, and I would just snap at people. I couldn't do that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'd get scared immediately. But
yeah, Maggie used to work at a Victoria's Secret like when she was in high school and the first couple of years of college. And she said like Black Friday then was just an absolute nightmare.
You nailed it though. It's one of the worst parts of society come out to play.
Yeah. 25% off, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to punch someone for 25% off TV, catch an assault charge. Let's move on to our last topic tonight. And we figured with it being Thanksgiving week, Christmas around the corner, everything crazy going on in the world, we're going to go through. We're each going to give 3 things that we're thankful for. They might be sincere, they might be goofy, but we'll kind of do it like a draft. Does anybody want to start?
I'll go first. Like I said, I wasn't able to spend Thanksgiving with the family just because I was kind of waiting on a COVID test, which ended up coming back negative and everything. So we're good on that front. But it's family. It's thankful for family, and it's like I said, it's even though you can't be there, you can still do FaceTime and everything. And then now after everything's kind of done with here, you're gonna go see them. And like I said, it's just kind of nice to know. Like I said that. With all this crazy shit going on, that even though if you can't be there, you still can have a way of kind of still being there. Yeah. And like I said, family, we all wouldn't be here without them.
Absolutely. Good call. I think we're all pretty thankful for our families, especially, with us, my wife putting up with, me down here ranting and raving at a computer screen, 4 or 5 nights a week. All the family and friends that, listen to the podcast, share our podcast, even just giving it a good rating on, Apple or Spotify, all that good stuff, man. It's just the support and everybody that pours out. So good call there, Zach. Matt, do you want to go second?
Yes. And it's kind of a piggyback off Zach, and it is holidays with my kid. Is something that my love for Thanksgiving and Christmas and this time of the year has gone up tremendously since becoming a dad. Just walking the kid down the street just to see Christmas lights on the neighboring houses and in front of our own house, and like he just is so excited. It's crazy. Just what a simple like house with a strand of lights does for this kid, just makes him happy. It's like, give me that simplicity in life. Like, make my life that simple again would just be nice. So that's one thing I'm thankful for sure.
Well, I mean, I absolutely, that's awesome. I mean, you guys nailed it, and I'm gonna, be a little bit, less sincere, I guess. You guys took all the good ones, but in this crazy world and what's happened lately, I would be remiss if I didn't say I was thankful for sports and television, sports on, because, we kind of realized in those 3 4 months that we didn't have sports, like, man, we rely on that so much, obviously for the show here, but just like like that's my escape. Like that's what I use to, get away from, all the hectic craziness. So I'm definitely thankful for sports and maybe a little bit of sports gambling too, especially when we hit winters. But yeah, sports for sure. Zach, you want to go back into round two?
Yeah. I guess my thing would be I'm thankful for being able to just roam outside, go do things. Like when you're with this whole like quarantine thing, when you're stuck inside and it was only like 4 or 5 days, you really get thankful for just like even going to work. Like I'm an idiot. You go do stuff, and all you want to do is just go home and hang out. And then when you're
Right.
told to hang out for a few days, all you want to do is something else.
Right.
So I'm thankful for like, I guess having a job is what you would have to say. Having a
Yep.
job that like I'm able to go outside and kind of in the next few months is gonna suck. But get out and get some fresh air.
Absolutely.
I couldn't
I'm
keep it
thankful for air.
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't keep it sappy forever. I'm thankful for vodka because it's been a goddamn lifesaver in the
Yes.
last year. Because working from home now for whatever the hell since March, with said 2-year-old who I said, yeah, I love his joy and happiness during Christmas. I also hate his how much of a tyrant he is during the day. Trying to work when he wants a different YouTube video or he wants fruit snacks or milk or whatever the hell it may be. So juggling all that together is eased with vodka at the end of the day. So that's what I'm extremely thankful for.
Great choice, Matt. My second round pick. I'm going to go cheap televisions and cheap projectors because I have a great setup now. I have 3 screens, and 10 years ago, I would have assumed that some sort of setup like this would cost me well over like $1,500, and my whole setup here is worth about less than $400. So I'm pretty thankful for cheap TVs.
That's a good one.
And Zach, you're putting in, you're getting one right after we record. We're gonna by this time next year, we're gonna have 5 or 6 screens in your house.
Yeah, that is. I'm getting, like I said, one of my
You got to get one of those
older ones too.
Those sports tickers too. Now,
Oh,
Yeah.
one of the tickers.
Gosh, I've been looking at those. Those are pretty awesome. That is
How
awesome.
expensive are they?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I know Barstool has a sponsor that does them.
Yeah, that's where I heard about it for the first time. Was on a podcast.
Yeah,
I
those
think.
are.
So.
I'm guessing expensive, but those.
I can't imagine they're cheap. It sounds awesome in concept, though.
Those look absolutely awesome. What else am I thankful for? I'd say video games, but I really don't play video games that much. But it kind of gets your mind off of things. I would say golf. I mean, I golfed so much this summer. It kind of got me through the whole COVID thing. You really weren't allowed to go. Like I like to play pickup basketball and stuff. All that has not. Well, who knows when to be able to go back to playing that. But golf really got me through the summer with nothing else really to do. Go out, shoot 18 holes after work, and like I said, I'm gonna miss it because the next few months here it will be getting chilly and cold and snowy and gross. But I think this summer has really gotten me into the flow of. I mean, I just love golfing. I may not be the best at it, but I've gotten past that point too, where I can have a bad round and I'll just kind of move on from it. So I'm really excited for next year too.
Awesome, Maddie, your last pick.
There's so many things, and boom, you kind of already hit it a little bit with sports, but I'm just gonna say the powers that be that came to make mobile sports gambling in Illinois a thing that was able to be
maybe I'm not thankful for that
to come together finally all through the pandemic. That softened the blow big time when we could sprinkle a little enjoyment on some of these games that have 0 fans and stuff that are just so wild to watch. And
yeah, I
fun
get that
to watch.
Barstool app too, Illinois, because they have some awesome prop bets.
Yeah, they do. They do. Aurora's got it. They've got a Penn casino here, so
yeah, I think they're just kind of waiting.
Pretty easy transition, you would think.
times. Like, it would have been nice if Illinois was just now getting into gambling, because I feel like that's more of a hot spot to do it, like when a state first gets into it.
Right. And it still requires an investment into a physical casino.
Oh, yeah.
And right now, during a pandemic, investing into a physical casino is probably somewhat unadvisable from a business
Going
perspective.
to that area and promoting it, too.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it because Matt's going to call me a douchebag, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that's Anytime Fitness. I mean, like Zach said with golf, kind of the way to get out and clear your mind. That's kind of been my escape. And, just getting out and trying to be as healthy as I can. So
flip this up. I've seen now on Facebook, you can do this thing where it's a video instead of a picture. And this will just be Boomy's video. I'm thankful for the gym. I go all the time.
Hey, so what's today, the 27th? I've gone 25 of 27 days this month. I'm pretty proud of myself.
I wish I had your motivation and energy right now. I don't, unfortunately.
It's a lot of energy drinks. That's about it.
I have to have those too, but it's to chase after a 2-year-old.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
it's a little bit different.
I run on caffeine as well. Unfortunately, it just is to run in place basically right now. So,
and obviously, like I said earlier, my wife, who puts up with all of our nonsense and flying by the seat of our pants to do videos or do a Facebook Live or whatever the case is, record it, sometimes 10:30 at night. So shout out to my wife, Jessie, and my niece, who was born a couple months ago. So thankful for them as well. Anybody else have any my parents, everyone that's given, really, and I'm also thankful for you guys. We can argue like cats and dogs. Matt, I know you. It is what it is. Matt hates me. It's okay.
Well, wait.
Didn't
Boomy just took mine.
Unbelievable.
I said family. You can't.
Yeah, I was just giving extra shout outs. That's all it was.
Boomy wants me to acknowledge that I like him though. That's the problem.
Pick family, so
Matt,
I
don't need you to acknowledge it. I know you do.
Boomy's just fishing for me to say how much I like him. Man.
You don't have to say it, Matt.
I can't take the bait here.
I know the truth.
This is all a ruse.
Matt, we're in war times right now. We got Bears.
Sunday night.
I'll try to
butter you guys up.
I'll see how you are Monday morning.
I'll be just fine because either way, we'll still be in first place.
I'll give you my honest assessment of you on Monday. We'll go from there. Your pending review.
I know the truth. It's okay, man. You don't have to hide your feelings from me. It's okay, buddy. But thanks to everyone who has supported us. Zach, we're closing in on 3 years here, aren't we?
Yes, gotta be getting close.
Yeah, 2018. I think the month before the Patriots-Eagles Super Bowl. So yeah, I think we're closing in on 3 years.
That was a good one.
Very thankful for everyone who has supported us and been big fans, and we're all very thankful for Pat Beals for being the #1 listener of the podcast. That is for sure.
Oh yes, we are.
Boys,
day in, day out.
Absolutely, never misses a day. That was episode 89.
Make sure you check out, like I said, Facebook Live Sunday night. I think the game starts at 7:15 or so.
Something like that, yes.
So we'll probably go live about 6:30 or so, 6:45, somewhere around there. Just take some questions, talk about the game, then we'll go live at halftime.
You might have to call in on speakerphone or something. You might have to patch me in. We'll see what the situation Sunday night is.
We can do that. We're going to have to use Boomy's phone because my phone stinks. My phone stinks right now, boys. I need an Android. Oh, shut up. No, I think it's dropped in the water.
See, and then he says comments like that when I'm starting to soften up a little bit. Then he starts going on his Android.
Set you up just to knock you down.
Yeah, it's just the Packers and
Android in the water, it wouldn't work.
I really don't have
my Android in the water all the time.
I really have nothing against Boomy except the Packers and Androids.
It's funny because if you had like a graph of Matt's hatred towards me, it definitely during the summer we kind of find common ground on the Cubs, and then August hits, and then it just skyrockets. And then after January, it starts to head back.
It's all Green Bay. That's all it is.
Exactly.
I cannot stand that organization. I really can't. And
Try going to the meeting.
they're good. I still, that video when you guys went was just priceless. Just absolutely priceless. I can't believe you suckered into going, Zach. I really can't.
It was a great time.
You're a good wingman. You're a good wingman.
He was a good way. He was a good travel companion, especially when I was falling asleep driving down the interstate at 4:00 in the morning.
It is a tough, boring ass drive too. There's not a lot to look at on the way up to Green Bay.
I think we left Mendota at like 12:45 in the morning. So, yeah, that was tough. But that was episode 89. We will see everyone live on Facebook Sunday for the Bears-Packers game. Make sure you check out our sponsor, 26shirts.com Chicago. Head over to their website, pick up some shirts, hats, flags, hoodies, whatever you need. Christmas is right around the corner. Get your shopping done now. I've got a couple of shirts I'm going to order for some people in my life. But make sure you use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. 26shirts.com/Chicago. They're the best merchandise in the city. They help out good causes. It helps out the podcast. Make sure you head over to 26shirts.com/Chicago. Promo code Typical Chicago Fans. Get your Christmas shopping done now. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook, Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You can find us there. YouTube, subscribe there for all of our content in video form. I promise the order has been placed. We will have a food review coming up here in the next weeks. Can't wait for that. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we're there. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you follow Zach at Lilia TCF, Maddie at schools_01, and follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Thank you for listening. That was episode 89 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.